for Death. Then we go bloop, bloop. And we nearly murder them with one shot. Welcome back to the mines, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Marked for Death. So what Marked for Death does is whenever you shoot an enemy with a focus shot from the M1000, it puts a mark on that enemy. This highlights the enemy in red, and this makes it so that enemy will take bonus damage from all sources. This also increases your focus shot speed, which can be helpful for applying that mark of death on the enemies. However, this does reduce the amount of ammo that you have in the magazine from the gun, which isn't that much. And it also makes it so your focus shots do basically no damage. Your regular shots still do regular damage, though. This is the way I'm going to be building my M1000 for Marked for Death. I really like this particular build, but I know a lot of people like the increased focus speed in Tier 1 too. That one is also pretty nice. And as a secondary, I'm going to be taking Trifork Volley with the crossbow, because you can do kind of insane damage with this, and I'm going to be showing that off in a Dreadnought mission. For this, you do need to have Trifork Volley, you want to have damage on your bolts, and you want to have electric bolts as well as magnetic shafts. I'll show you why here in 1 second. And we also need the cryo grenades in order to use this, or to pull all of this off too. This build is incredibly strong for killing Dreadnaughts, and for killing really anything big, but it's pretty bad at dealing with anything else. And this wouldn't really necessarily be my go-to for this type of mission, but it is something pretty funny that you can do. Let's get this first Dread angry and ready to go. Dreadnought Hive Guard. This is not really the best one to have this set up for. This is better for the twins or for the regular Dread, but that's okay. We're guaranteed to get at least one of those things. So let's take these out really quick. M1000 can still do a lot of damage because it still has 55 base damage, so that's really nice. It can still one-shot grunts on any difficulty besides the has 5+ difficulty. Okay. And we can still use this to kind of help us. You stick 2 of those in a Dreadnought, then it can't move. This is part of the combination that you need to use. Oops. Okay, so what you want to do is, first up, stick 2 electric bolts into a Dread. Then you want to hit them with Marked for Death. Then you want to throw both of these. Oh, whoops, I did it too slow. Hang on. And I froze myself, so I screwed that up really bad. This is not a great demonstration. Hang on. Yeah, Bosco, you keep murdering him, because I'm struggling at the moment. Alright. If I do it in the correct order, this works really well. If I don't, it kind of ends up being that. Alright, let's clear this up. Alright. Okay, so let's begin. Let's do this. Marking for Death. Oops. I screwed up the cryo lead again, didn't I? Alright, hang on. One of these, 2 of these, and then you take out a phase. You just have to do it in the right order, and I was screwing up the order. It doesn't matter where you hit them once they're frozen, because it'll do the same amount of damage regardless. So, even if you're kind of screwing up like me, it can still work out pretty well. I mean, even that alone can be kind of useful for taking out part of this. And even just with Marked for Death on the crossbow on there, you can do a lot of damage, so let me grab another one of these. I did kind of screw that up, but at least I had one kind of showing of it. Probably need some more nitric, because I don't trust myself to not screw up again on the next Dread. We'll see how that goes, though. If you have enemies like this, and you have a Bosco or anybody with electricity, you can also take them out really quick, just like we were taking out the Dreadnaughts. And since this doesn't nerf your M1000 damage at all, at least with the regular shots, you still have that 55 damage, which is enough of a breakpoint to kill grunts with a single headshot. It's also technically enough to kill him with 2 body shots from that, so long as you have armor breaking. You do need to have armor breaking in tier 2 in order to do that, though. So that's why I usually like taking armor breaking with this one, but I do understand some people really liking either the recoil reduction in tier 2 or taking the increased focus shot speed. Let's draw the dreads back to the main room. Oh! It is the twins. Awesome. There was a 50-50 chance it was going to be twins or just a single dread, since you can't have double dreads spawn, at least one after another. If you had 3 dreads, then you could have like 2 twins, 2 hive guards, 2 regular dreads, whatever it might be. So let's see how well it works against these guys. Oh wow, he's just sliding on in, isn't he? Okay, then we do Mark for Death, then we go bloop, bloop, and we nearly murder them with 1 shot. So fantastic. Now, if only we had some follow-up to that. That would have been pretty epic. We don't even necessarily need to make 2 of these onto one, just one of them there will work. Now, this keeps running away. Oh, couldn't quite kill him in 1 burst. Dang it. Lucky Dreadnought. As you can see, this makes it so dread fights are pretty quick. Oh, whoops. And not too bad overall. Here, I'll weaken you just a little bit. Okay, a lot of it. I might be able to kill you now. This. No! Oh, that's unfortunate for me. Technically, he was still frozen there, but my bolts couldn't hit him. Alright. Ow. Well, they could one-shot me back. That hurt. Oh, thanks, Bosco. Thanks for putting electricity on there, buddy. And if I had more for death, then he probably would have died, huh? There we go. And I freaked out there. This is a very fun combo. Again, this is a build that's only really good for killing Dreadnaughts. It's also really good at killing bulks or really anything big. So this is actually one of my favorite builds for Marked for Death that I found so far, at least for taking it on general missions. I don't think that this is necessarily the best build that you could go with, but it is a very fun build, so I'm going to be showing this one too. This is still taking Marked for Death built the same way, for kind of the same reasons that we talked about earlier. But for a secondary, we're going to be taking gas recycling on the Zukovs. This one is basically just for our crowd control. It's really good at close range, and it can shred through just about anything because it has armor breaking on it by default. On top of that, I usually switch out my cryo grenades for something like the stun sweeper. Cryo grenades are still fantastic, and if you like taking them, by all means take them. But the stun sweeper is something that I enjoy for crowd control. IFGs are also really good in this particular build, or really even the pheromone grenades. Any of them are really good for scout, especially on the higher difficulties. Generally, the way that I go about this loadout is most of the time I'm just going to be running around with the Zukovs out. I'm going to be using that as like my primary weapon. However, against big targets, I am going to try to tag them with the M1000. And maybe even try to shoot them at a distance with this, which is the hip firing of it. At a long range, though, it's going to be fairly difficult to use the Zukovs effectively. This is with the max accuracy, too, and as you can see, it's not really doing a whole lot to him. Go back, like, where did my boomerang go? Did you just come back to me? Oh, sure. Thanks, Dingdale. You appreciate it, buddy. As you can kind of see, you can mix and match with this loadout, though. Marked for Death is really strong. I've tried it with a couple different builds now. Some of them I really enjoy, gas recycling and boom, and the double barrel. Jumbo shells can be particularly strong. We've seen the crossbow is pretty strong. I haven't tried it with some of the other overclocks, so I'm still gonna have to test this one out quite a bit. I just mostly wanted to show this off for what you can do with Marked for Death.